Hi, Dora, and
Hi.
thank you for joining us. We'll discuss together the follow-up of the MFRR mission to Croatia. And let me start with a few words about you. You are a Croatian journalist, currently an investigative journalist at Telegram news portal. I think you cover education, science, youth policy, youth issues, but you also teach journalism at the University of Zagreb. We'll discuss about it later. As you know, the aim of our exchange is to comment on the MFRR report on the state of media freedom in Croatia, following a mission, following the MFRR advocacy mission to Zagreb. It was between 19 and 21st of May. And the purpose of the mission was to assess the government's progress in implementing recommendations we made following an initial fact-finding mission in September 2024. And during these the three-day visit to Zagreb in May, we engaged, as you know, with many stakeholders, journalists, of course, publishers, representative of journalist association, journalist unions, and state actors as well, such as the Ministry of Culture and Media, the Ministries of Justice and Internal Affairs, the Agency for Electronic Media, and others. As you know as well, the mission concluded that while the government had made, I would say, some progress, the measures taken by the authorities to protect journalists, to protect media freedom and to protect media pluralism are not sufficient in our views. A personal comment maybe to start with the first question. What struck me most during that mission, the meeting with the authorities, was the ability of politicians, Croatian politicians we met, to deny, I would say, deny the obvious, to try to make people believe that everything is fine in Croatia. As a journalist, can you tell us if this is a common strategy from the authorities? Are you also faced with this kind of narrative, this kind of denial on the part of the authorities?
First of all, thank you, Ricardo, for having me and for talking to me about this important report. So yes, during your mission, I think you witnessed something what we experience here every day. And while we talked during your stay in Zagreb, we told you that what you are going to experience, so that you won't be surprised. You witness what you experience here every day, and not only regarding media policy, but every aspect of governance. So every day, politicians from the ruling party are telling our citizens that they live better than ever, and that absolutely everything is great in Croatia. So even though we have parts, of our country literally empty, because people left due to their struggle to have a decent life here. So and if we talk about democracy, you'll also hear from the ruling party, Croatian Democratic Union, that democratic standards are high in Croatia, and that this is like the best democracy ever. And in reality, widespread corruption on literally all levels of government is perhaps the biggest problem of our country, as I see it. And besides that, whole institutions are being captured during a decade of Prime Minister Plenković in office. So now I'm shifting towards the media and journalism. So I think we're we're living in this perpetual crisis of media and journalism, with clearly captured media outlets, namely by state bodies using public funds to influence media content, and also critical media outlets are being silenced in that way, with arbitrary withdrawal of state advertising in response to their editorial policy. The latest example that you also mention in your report is from Novosti, publicly funded Serb minority newspaper, also known for its critical and excellent journalism. You also know about the HRT, our public broadcaster. HRT is under the firm influence of the government and the ruling party for years now, actually. And but as you mentioned, if you ask our Minister of Media, Nina Obuljen Koržinek, she'll tell you that everything is fine, that you are, making things up, that you are.
That's what she said, indeed.
that you are rude and inappropriate. So yeah, she's going to say that we're making it up, that everything is great, and that actually us critical journalists don't seem to understand what she and the government are doing for us.
We really understood the difficulties of journalists on the ground, and how difficult it is for them to operate in such a climate. As you know, the aim of MFRR missions is also to give some kind of hope to the journalists we meet. Have we at least succeeded in encouraging you?
Well, I think your mission at least succeeded in a way that we feel that someone out there listened to us and saw for themselves what we're dealing with here, while working as journalists in Croatia. There's this public picture that everything is great, and that critical media are just mean, and that they, or we, exaggerate and make things up about the collapse of democratic standards in our country. I think your mission very closely, firsthand, as we already mentioned, saw that the situation is extremely serious, and that at least from my side, it is really comforting knowing that you know and that you saw all that, and that you reported internationally about it.
Good to know. Thank you. As I said in my introduction, we felt that our recommendations had not been implemented, but also that authorities are not really showing goodwill. We feel that we need in a way to step up pressure on the government. As a journalist in Croatia, what do you think we can do as international organizations, or do better to step up the pressure on authorities?
Well, I think we'd all be happy with you, to see you often here.
We'll come back.
That's great. Talking to us, talking to journalists, and knocking on our minister's office doors. That's something I think what would make us happy, and her just being nervous. So also your reports, I think it's important for your reports being disseminated internationally to European and international institutions, and I hope that that report is going to be considered with all the reports about the rule of law in Croatia, and etc. And with this report being disseminated internationally, also seems comforting. And also, I think your appeals to your direct appeals to international organizations about the media and democratic situation in Croatia can also be somewhat encouraging.
Yeah, that's one of the aims of our organization, of course, and we'll keeping you updated about our interactions with the European Commission, but also with the Council of Europe and the OSCE and other, I would say, institutional stakeholders at European level. Coming back to the mission and our first meeting during that mission, which was a meeting with the journalists, we always start with a meeting with journalists because we feel that it's important to feel what they feel, how they manage to work in such a context. We noticed, I would say, a lot of despair and pessimism among journalists, many of them facing harsh attitudes from the authorities, from the sometimes from the public as well. We fully understand that feeling, taking it into account again the context, the difficult conditions in Croatia. Dora, I said it in the introduction, you teach journalism, which implies that you still believe in the power of journalism, the values of journalism. How do you manage to maintain this energy, I would say, this ability to pass on our values in such a hostile environment?
Well, I firmly do believe in the values of journalism, and I think I wouldn't be here without it. And I think that the independent and critical journalism is now more important than ever, looking the situation globally and, of course, nationally from our Croatian point of view. I do teach actually investigative journalism at the Faculty of Political Science, and I often think to myself, what am I going to tell the students about the environment they will soon be working in? And that's actually the talk about democracy and our core values and the pivotal role of free journalism in it. And I really do hope that those students wouldn't be at the Faculty of Political Science studying journalism without knowing that or feeling that towards our core values regarding democracy. My own energy to do this, what I'm doing, comes from one very simple thought. I don't want to leave Croatia, and I don't want new generations, young people, to leave Croatia. And journalism is, as I see it, my tool to fight for that.
Thank you for this energy, Dora, and these are, I think, the perfect closing words. I think I can tell you that the Croatian journalist can continue to count on the support of the MFRR coalition. Be sure about that. Thank you very much. We wish all Croatian journalists strength and courage, and we know that they have plenty of it. Thank you.
Thank you, Ricardo.